Everyone, Miss Cox here, and welcome to the last lesson on fractions this week, so lesson 5. And today we're going to be having a think about quarters and quarters of amounts. So we're going to be getting an amount of objects and then putting them into quarters, okay, splitting them up into quarters, a bit like we did earlier in the week with halves. So this would be a really good time, if you haven't already, to get yourself, a bit like earlier in the week, a rectangle that has been split up into 4 equal parts, okay, and some objects that you can put into that rectangle so that we can work out a quarter of those objects. Okay, so if you need to do that, pause me now. If not, stay with me and we shall move on to the lesson. Okay, so as with every lesson this week, we are starting with our number formation. Now, this is our last day of doing 5. Next week, we're going to move on to some different numbers. So as we've done before, it's down and around, flag on high. That's the way we make a 5. So I'm going to give you a couple of minutes just to practice those 5s. I bet you're really good at those by now because we've been practicing all week. So I'll give you a couple of minutes, pause me, have a couple of minutes just really having a go at those 5s. You might not even need to remember the rhyme anymore. Have some time now to do that. Okay, well done for doing your number 5s. And today, our fluency, our counting, is we're going to revisit this. We're going to go to our subtraction facts from 10. But I thought today, instead of just saying those subtraction facts, you could have a go at maybe writing them down, if that's okay with you. So as we've got our 10 frame here, our 10 frame is full. So that means it's got 10 counters in the tens frame. And then we can take some away from the tens frame. We talked about this yesterday. So if I was to do 10, take away 1, I would have 9 counters left. Now I'm going to try as neatly as I can with my pen, okay, to write that down as a number sentence. So my whole number, I had 10 counters in the tens frame to start with. So that's my whole number is 10, okay? And then I took away 1 of those counters. And now I have 9 left. So that equals 9. Remember, this symbol means equals or the same as, because 10 take away 1 is the same as 9. Okay, so 10 take away 1 equals 9, or 10 take away 1 is the same as 9. You can practice saying those things as you're writing them too. Okay, so have a little go at doing that. I'll do one more with you. Okay, so, now if I start with my 10 again, so I fill up my tens frame again. So now I've got 10 counters in my tens frame, it's full. If I take away 1, actually I'll take this one away, and this one, and this one. Okay, so, how many counters have I taken away? I've taken away 3. So I can now write this as a number sentence. So my whole number, the number of counters I had altogether was 10. So I can write the number 10 because that's my whole number I started with. And then I took away 3 of those counters. Okay, and now I'm left with, the amount of counters I'm left with is 7. Okay, so I have now written 2 number sentences. So you have some time now, and if you want, your grown-ups can write the number sentences for you, or you can fill in parts of the number sentences. Okay, so you can work together as a team, or you can write the whole number sentences yourself. There's some options there. So have a few minutes just practicing those subtraction facts from 10, and then come back to me and we'll get on with fractions today. Oh, don't forget, there's a link which we'll post to you to get onto the tens frame online, so you can actually move the counters around yourself on the computer or iPad or whatever you're using. So here we go. Right, fractions today. Now, as I mentioned, we're going to be thinking about quarters of amounts. Now, yesterday you were having a look at shapes and colouring in shapes and working out what a quarter of shapes were, okay? And we used this sentence, didn't we? We used this sentence down here, which is a quarter is one of 4 equal parts. So let's say that together, okay? So a quarter is one of 4 equal parts. Now you're going to be my echo, so I'm going to say it and I'm going to hear you say it back to me. So a quarter is one of 4 equal parts. So you say it to me. Fantastic job. Okay. Oh, and just to remind you, do you remember when we have a whole shape before we split it up into anything, we call it the whole. So here is a whole. So you can say that. Here is a whole. Great. Just to remind us that when we have a whole shape, before we split it up, we call it the whole. Okay. Right. So let's move on. Now, today, my counters today are Lego pieces. So these are the counters I'm going to be using. And what we're going to do is I'm just going to talk you through how we can find out what 1/4 of an amount is. Okay, so I can share these objects into 4 equal parts. Okay, so let's have a look. I've got how many Lego bricks? What's my whole number? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. So my whole number is 4. Can you say it? The whole number is 4. Well done. Okay. Now we're going to find out what 1/4 of 4 is. And this is how we're going to do it. I'm going to share this whole number of Lego bricks equally into my rectangle here that's been split up into 4 equal parts. So here we go. So I have put 1 Lego piece in each part of my rectangle. Is it the same? Have I got the same amount in each rectangle? I have. So it is fair. It is equal. So I now know that 1/4. So if I have a look, actually, if I get my pen, because you did this yesterday, but we can do this today. If I shade in that quarter, okay, if I shade in that, oh, there we go. I have 1 of 4 equal parts coloured in. So that means that if I'm trying to find out 1/4 of my objects, I'm looking in here. How many Lego bricks are in here? I've got 1. Okay, so 1/4 of 4 is 1. Okay, so we can say that 1/4 of 4 is 1. Excellent job. Well done. Right, I'm just going to rub out my, actually, no, I'll leave my little scribble there. I'm sorry it's so scribbly, but it's quite difficult to use this pen. So I'm just going to leave my little scribble there. And then we're just going to do a few more together, okay? Because actually that little scribble will show you what 1 of 4 equal parts is, okay? Here we go. Right, so we're going to try a different number now. Now I've got my magic Lego brick down here, so I can make more Lego bricks. Here we go. So here we go. So I'm giving myself some more Lego bricks. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to count the whole number of bricks. How many bricks have we got to start with? So let's do that together. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, and by the way, I hope you're doing this at home. So I hope you're getting yourself 8 counters, whatever your counters are. I hope you're getting 8 of them. And then you're joining in at the same time. So get yourself 8 counters if you haven't. I've got my 8 Lego bricks here. Now I want to find out what 1/4 of 8 is. How am I going to do that? I'm going to share my 8 Lego bricks into my rectangle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oh, have I got the same amount of Lego bricks in each part of my rectangle? Have I? Let's check. So I've got 2 here. I've got 2 in this part. I've got 2 in this part. And I've got 2 in this part. That's the same, isn't it? It's equal amount. So now I've got to work out what 1/4 of 8 is. Now I'm going to go back where my little scribble is, because that's showing me what 1/4 of the rectangle is shaded in. How many bricks have I got in there? I've got 2. So I now know that 1/4 of 8 is 2. So let's say that together. 1/4 of 8 is 2. Can I hear you? Well done. Right, we're going to do one more and then I'm going to set you off a challenge. I'm going to give you a challenge. Okay, here we go. So let's move the Lego bricks down. Here we go. Let's move the Lego bricks down. And I'm going to have to use my magic Lego, I think, my magic Lego piece, okay, to get some more Lego pieces. So here we go. So here's my magic Lego piece. So I'm going to add another 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, how many pieces of Lego have I got? How many counters have I got? That's what we're doing first, the whole number. Let's work that out together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So my whole number is 12. Let's have a hear about that. So let's hear that. The whole number is 12. Well done. Okay, now just like we did the last time, we're now going to share our 12 Lego pieces into my rectangle, which has been split up into 4 equal parts. So we're going to do it one at a time, because then I definitely know I'm sharing equally. So 1 there. Okay, and you could be doing this at home with your 12 counters that you've got. Okay, so sharing them equally between the parts of the rectangle. Here we go. So I'm just doing that. Okay. Right. There we are. Okay. So I think I've shared my Lego bricks equally, but I'm just going to check. Have I got the same amount of Lego bricks in each part of my rectangle? So I have 3 here. I've got 3 here. I've got 3 here. And 3 here. That looks fair to me. I've got 3 in each part of my rectangle. So I'm going to look back to over here where I've shaded in my part of the rectangle. And I can say that 1/4 of 12 is 3, because I have 3 Lego cubes there. So let's say that 1/4 of 12 is 3. Let me hear you. Excellent. Well done. Now you can pause me and just explore this yourself with different numbers of counters. Maybe some amounts of counters will work better than others. You might find that there's some numbers you can't share equally. Okay, so have a little play with that now, using your counters and your rectangle that's split up into 4 equal parts, and see what you find out. Okay, so, I've got a bit of a challenge here. So reasoning rabbit. Now, unfortunately, where I am today, I don't have my reasoning rabbit ears, but if I did, I'd put my reasoning rabbit ears on. And I want you to have a look at our rectangle. And I've given you a question. Here we go. I think I have shared my pencils into 4 equal parts. Am I right? So I think I've done a good job there of sharing. Have a think, have a chat to your grown-ups. Have I shared them equally? Am I right? Oh, do you know, now looking at it, it doesn't look quite right. Something's not quite right. I wonder what I can do to fix it. So I've got 2 in this part and 2 in this part. So they're equal, but I've got 3 in this part and only 1 in this part. So I wonder what I can do to fix that. Maybe if I move this pencil, would that make sense? Yes, excellent. I've now think I have split my pencils equally. Let's just check though. So I've got 2 pencils here, 2 pencils here, 2 pencils in this part, and 2 pencils in this part. I think that looks fair now. I've got 2 in each part. Also, I have 8 pencils altogether, and I now have 2 in each part. So I can now say 1/4 of 8 is 2. Okay, I've got equal amounts there. Thank you for helping me think that one over. Don't know what I was thinking there. I got that one really wrong, didn't I? Now, today's task, just a quick explanation of tasks. So level 1 today is to carry on exploring with 4 equal parts, getting the objects, a number of objects, and exploring, putting those objects into 4 equal parts. And I really, really think it's important that you do spend a bit of time on that, because the more you see it, the more it makes sense. Okay, so when you've done that lots of times and you feel really happy that you can split amounts into 4 equal parts, then maybe have a little go at level 2, and you can keep your rectangle and your objects, and you can use them to work out the answers to these questions. Okay, so we've got a question about cakes. Oh, yummy, making me hungry. Sweeties and peaches. Okay, so then you can use your objects and your rectangle to work those out. And then level 3, again, use your resources. So use your rectangle and your objects, and you can work out what 1/4 of each of these are. Okay. As usual, all of the documents will be sent attached, so that you can print them off if you want to, or you can just copy them down from the screen. I hope you've enjoyed fractions this week. I've really enjoyed teaching it. And I'll see you next week for another week of fun maths, and we'll find out what that is on Monday. Okay, well, have a lovely weekend. Enjoy fractions for the last day. See you soon. Bye-bye.